Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. My name is FPL Meerkat and today I've got my Game Week 21 team selection for you guys. But before I get into that, let's have a look at how the team did in Game Week 20. And yeah, it wasn't a very good week, to be honest. A score of only 50 points there and a huge red arrow from 29k back to 64k. I've basically dropped to where my rank was back in Game Week 15. So yeah, quite a frustrating game week there, but I guess that's what happens when you sell some of your established players and you take quite a few risks in your team. Sometimes it pays off really well, sometimes it doesn't, and that was one of these weeks. So just running through the team, Sanchez losing his clean sheet quite late on yet again. That's just been the story of my season, getting late clean sheet wipeouts very late on in games and losing out on that point. So it would have been an absolute haul if he hadn't conceded that goal. So yeah, quite frustrating on that behalf. Van Dijk losing his clean sheet again. Honestly, he's really frustrating me. As you can see, their worst performer. He has been consistently one of the worst performers in my team. He's kept a couple clean sheets here and there, but for the money I'm paying, he's just not really been returning with the goods. Gabriel as well, losing his clean sheet as well. But again, everyone's got an Arsenal defender. It's sort of security at this point. So not too bothered about that one. Robinson also losing his clean sheet. Actually conceded twice to Ipswich. So ended up losing a point there. And as you can see, Kirkes on the bench getting 12 points. Now, in hindsight, yes, I think benching Kirkes against Everton, who have barely scored a goal all season, was quite a poor decision. I was really stuck onto who to bench. I think I said in my video that I felt that Everton and Ipswich are fairly even in terms of their attack. As you can see, Everton are significantly worse. It was just ultimately cruel that Kirkes decides to get the assist for the winning goal at the very end of the game. I would have been fine benching a clean sheet, but yeah, benching a clean sheet and an assist and full bonus was very painful to see. So yeah, poor decision from me, but we'll learn from it. Learn to back the defenders against worse attacks rather than maybe going for the safe option like a Gabriel, even like a Van Dijk, to be honest. Yeah, probably should have started Kirkes over one of the three of them, but yeah, what can you do? Salah with the captaincy, getting a fortunate penalty to bail him out of what would have been a blank. Didn't really look like he was going to get a return in that game. So yeah, definitely tells us that we can potentially back against Salah for the captaincy some weeks. It's not a perma-captaincy option, but it is terrifying to go against him considering he just keeps returning. And yeah, sometimes all you need is a penalty, and that's why we own players who take penalties in FPL. Palmer getting 10 points, classic performance from him, getting a goal, I think all three bonus as well, and just sweeping that up, actually outscoring Salah, so well done if you captained Palmer instead of Salah this week. Luis Diaz getting subbed literally 5 seconds before 60 minutes. Very frustrating there, so ends up losing out on a point. And Martinelli was benched, so yeah, a very devastating score from my midfield there, given that Mbeumo, the player who I sold a couple of weeks ago, gets a 19-pointer against Southampton. So yeah, that was a really painful one, and that's definitely the cost of getting rid of some of your established players that take penalties, that have all these good attributes about them for players who are rotation risks. It worked out last game week, but yeah, this game week, it really did negatively affect my team, and I think I'm going to fix that in the next game week to take the points and run with them, basically, to get in some more established players who I know are going to play a lot more often. Isak there getting 7 points, just another goal. That's 7 goals in a row he scored in the league. Absolutely crazy form from the guy. Just keeps scoring in every single game. I think he's the most essential player up front in FPL. I think you all know that by now. Yeah, just absolutely amazing. So glad that I got him earlier than most and really been feasting on those points. Gabriel Jesus getting a blank there. 3 starts in a row at least for Jesus, but yeah, just didn't return with a goal in that case. And Chris Wood getting another goal and bonus. Again, just a consistent king in my team, getting all of these points in the team. So really happy to still have him. And then yeah, FaZe and Rogers obviously suspended for that game on the bench. So yeah, bit painful not playing Kirkes. If I played Kirkes, that would have limited the damage quite significantly. It still wouldn't have even been a green arrow, even with that 12-pointer in the team. But yeah, quite a painful week there, basically because I didn't have Mbumo. If I had Mbumo over Martinelli, it would have been a green arrow. So that was all the difference was. Didn't own him, suffered the consequences. So looking at the Game Week 21 team, I haven't made a transfer as of yet because there are midweek games. I'm currently recording this on the Wednesday. It's Liverpool Spurs tonight. There are quite a few games going on over this period, over the midweek and at the weekend. The deadline, I believe, is actually at the start of next week. So there are lots of games. I'm not going to make any early transfers because I've got plenty of money in the bank. I don't need to rush into these transfers. So I feel like I'm almost definitely going to make some transfers because I'm not happy with the amount of rotation risks I've currently got in the team. It was good when I could guarantee the minutes. I thought with Saka out that Martinelli would be more nailed on than he has been, getting benched. I believe it was for illness reasons though, so a little bit shaky on that. But yeah, I thought the minutes would be better for them. And with Luis Diaz, I did not expect Gakpo to be so good. But yeah, obviously, elephant in the room there, the captaincy is not on Salah this week. The captaincy is on Isak, and I'm pretty definitive about that. He did have the armband before his game against Newcastle, against his game against Arsenal, where he got a goal, and it would have been an FPL assist as well. He's just a man in incredible form. Home at Wolves is a brilliant fixture, and I think this is a time to back against Salah. I think away at Forest is a really difficult fixture, a lot more difficult than people are putting on. I know the likes of Man City, I believe, scored 3 past them. Someone else earlier on the season put 3 past them. And obviously, Liverpool could do the same. But I back Forest to be very defensively rigid and do quite similar to what they did to Liverpool earlier on in the season. So yeah, I don't think that Salah's a bad captaincy option this week, by no means. I just think that Isak is a better captaincy option, so that's why he currently has the armband. Looking at the rest of the team, Sanchez all right with him at goal, home to Bournemouth. It's an okay fixture. Bournemouth are pretty good in front of goal though, and Sanchez obviously is a little bit of a rotation risk, I guess you could say. Which is a weird thing to say about your goalkeeper. But yeah, Van Dijk not really hopeful for a clean sheet there against Forest because I am starting Chris Wood. I think it is just, penalty taker. He's going to get 90 minutes at home. He seems like a good option to back in this game week, even though Liverpool are one of the best defences in the league. Gabriel at home to Spurs. Again, nice fixture, but not for defenders. It's not really a fixture where you'd back a clean sheet for Gabriel. Spurs have been really good in front of net, despite not being too consistent. And then Robinson away to West Ham. Again, not too confident about that fixture. I do believe that West Ham will score in that game. So yeah, I'm a little bit shaky about that. Obviously, Salah with the vice there. Palmer home to Bournemouth. I think that's a great fixture for him. If you want to go there for the captaincy over Salah, I don't mind that at all. I think that's a pretty good shout. Palmer is very consistent. It's a home game. Bournemouth have been a fairly tricky defence to break down, quite similar to Forest, putting up similar numbers. Obviously, Forest have done much better in the table, but yeah, I believe that's fairly similar in terms of difficulty. Luis Diaz is an interesting one. I don't think it's a good fixture against Nottingham Forest, and I think his minutes are getting worse. So I'm thinking about moving on Luis Diaz just because with Gakpo so well in form and with Jota potentially playing up front, there is a genuine possibility Luis Diaz doesn't start this game. Obviously, I will wait to see what minutes are like with the cup fixtures coming up to make a judgment on that later on. But if I've got doubt that Luis Diaz is going to start, then there are certainly better options to be getting in midfield this week, and I will talk about those in a minute. Rodgers starting him to Everton. I've benched 2 players recently, both to Everton, both hauled. I'm not benching Rodgers away to Everton. Yes, it might look like a difficult game on paper, but Rodgers has been in exceptional form. And like I said, I've benched a couple hauls against Everton recently. A third time, you're not getting me for a third time. I'm sorry. I'm definitely starting Rodgers at Everton, whether you like it or not. I can't deal with a benching and have a haul like that. This is the issue when you have 8 good attackers in your team, is that you're likely to bench one of those hauls. Captaincy on Isak, like I said, I think it's a really good fixture against Wolves. They have been better defensively whilst Pereira has been in, but I think Newcastle will just have too much for Wolves, and it could be. I hope for a brace. I think against Wolves would be the my favourite outcome there. He did get subbed at 60 minutes as well, Isak, a nice little rest, and he'll probably get a full rest at the weekend in their cup fixture, so really looking forward to that. Chris Wood, I am starting him like I mentioned. Again, don't think it's too bad of a fixture given it's a home game, and he can get a lucky penalty as well. And I am starting Jesus at the moment. It's a bit difficult with Jesus and Martinelli in the team. Jesus has had the better output and does, for some reason, seem to have the better minutes currently, despite the fact I thought Martinelli would have the better minutes. Yes, maybe that was because of his illness, but we don't really know the full story on that, and I don't think we ever will when it comes to Arteta. So yeah, bit of a weird one here, but plenty of money in the bank and free transfers to possibly make. So we're going to have a look at what possible transfers I could make. So I've got 4 transfers here that I could potentially make. I won't make all 4. I do have enough money though to do all 4 of these transfers, but I'll probably do a maximum of 3, minimum of 1. I could do all 4. I do think it massively strengthens my team, but then I probably have a benching headache as well, would be the issue. So the first potential transfer there, Martinelli to Bruno Fernandes. This would be quite a short-term punt, to be honest. Martinelli, obviously, his fixtures, his minutes are getting worse. And Bruno Fernandes, we know he's nailed. We know he's on penalty. He's going to get 90 minutes. He's got Southampton at home, which is just the perfect entry point, I think, for any attacker. And he will get 4 games in my team. He's got 3 home games in the next 4. Pretty good opposition, Brighton and Palace in that next 4. And I think Fulham is the other game. Some pretty decent fixtures for Bruno. And I do believe that he can definitely get some hauls in the next 4 game weeks. And then when his fixtures turn, I would look to get in the likes of Mbeumo, who obviously punished me last week, but his fixtures are just a little bit tougher. And I'm just not set on getting Mbeumo in just yet because the fixtures, it is still Man City and is it Liverpool or Arsenal? It's one of the two. I can't actually remember at this time. But those are tough fixtures for Mbeumo. And his data hasn't been exceptional. I know he's been scoring a lot, but in terms of his chances per minute, he's just been incredibly clinical right now. So I'm going to bet that he's less clinical, basically, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I would intend to get Mbeumo in about game week 24, 25 instead, 4-1 of Bruno. And then the other potential transfer is Luis Diaz to Gordon. Again, I've got enough money in the bank that either one of Martinelli or Luis Diaz could go to either one of Fernandes or Gordon, or both. I could do both. Yeah, I'm looking at Gordon though, because Newcastle attack looks excellent. The next upcoming fixtures look really great. He's getting consistent minutes now. He just looks like a fantastic option. He's not that talisman aspect that I do like from attackers. I have obviously gone against that with the likes of Martinelli, Diaz and Jesus in my team. You would say that Isak is definitely the talisman of that Newcastle team, but they are in such good form with good fixtures that I really don't mind doubling up on that attack. And yeah, Gordon looks like he's in exceptional form. It looks like if 2 goals are getting scored, one is Isak, one is Gordon. They're assisting each other as well. They just look to be in absolute brilliant form right now, Newcastle. And I think I want to capitalise on it whilst it's still going on. The third transfer there, Jesus to Mateta. Now, Mateta, I'm interested in due to the fact he is on penalties and Palace's fixtures for attackers look fantastic over the next 4 game weeks. All these transfers really do have the next 4 in mind. That's kind of how I'm feeling with these teams that I'm targeting: Man United, Newcastle and Palace. Mateta looks like a brilliant option in terms of the fixtures. His data this season hasn't been great, but he does have that leading figure status. We do know he can absolutely be in the goals points during the season, and I think he's fairly low owned right now. So it does still feel like quite a solid differential there, who I know is going to get minutes, has penalties, and has great fixtures for an attacker. He has been getting subbed off a bit early at times, but I do think he will do really well over these next 4 game weeks. So I'm definitely looking at him if I want to get rid of Jesus. Obviously, you've got your likes of João Pedro, of Raul Jimenez as well in the forward options. I do just like the fixtures more for Mateta at the moment. But yeah, that is a little bit of a dilemma for that. There's lots of options to think about here. And then in terms of a defensive transfer, Kirkes out to Lewis Hall. Obviously, I'm playing Robinson this week against West Ham, but Fulham's fixtures are getting a little bit worse. Bournemouth's fixtures are terrible now for the next 4. And Lewis Hall has been very attacking. He's been very attacking recently. And Newcastle really seem a lot more solid defensively. They're getting clean sheets quite easily now. I obviously do like the look of Munoz, who has been incredibly attacking for Crystal Palace. I just don't rate the defensive aspect of Palace that much. I know those fixtures look excellent, but I think they're better for attackers than they are for defenders. So that's why I'm a little bit more keen on Lewis Hall at the moment. Obviously, Munoz could get a goal. He's probably more likely to, but I do like the aspect of Lewis Hall potentially getting an assist and then bonus points if he gets a clean sheet. Whereas Munoz, he might score a goal, but if he concedes, he's not getting bonus. So it's only going to be about a 8-pointer, whereas Lewis Hall can get, as we've seen, those 12, 15 pointers if he gets clean sheets and assists. So yeah, those are the 4 most likely transfers I'm looking at. Obviously, like I've said, João Pedro and Raul could come in at the striker spot for Gabriel Jesus. In terms of midfield, Eze, I've not forgotten about him. Like I said, Palace's fixtures look really, really good. If I don't want to double up on the Newcastle attack, I probably won't double up on the Palace attack. I'd probably get in one of Mateta or Eze. But Bruno Fernandes is definitely the most likely player that I'm going to be transferring in this week, given how good the entry point is and just how I think Man United will spring into a bit of form now, given their great performance against Liverpool at the weekend. So yeah, those are the potential transfers I'm looking at. Moving on to the mini league team of the game week, we have Ronnie Motilal here with 110 points this game week. Absolutely amazing week there, and just consistency throughout the squad here. It's clean sheet from Sells and Aina, the double up on the Forest defence, really nice. Would love to know if he was an early adopter on those or if he's gone there recently, seeing how good Forest defence have been. Kirkes 12-pointers, starting that 12-pointer that I wish I had. It's actually a Haaland and Salah team here. There's no Palmer in the team, but yeah, he's managed to get the returns from Haaland and Salah, so nice choice there. Obviously, Palmer did get more points than Salah this week, but it's nice to see that Haaland teams can still do quite well. There are plenty of ways to play the game this year. And of course, Captain Mbeumo was really the shining light in this team. A 19-pointer double to 38 points. No catch in this guy when you got the captaincy on Mbeumo. Really, really good. He did suffer the same fate with Martinelli. Raul there getting two penalties, I think it was. Really, really nice bit of luck there. João Pedro also getting a penalty. But again, that's why we have these cheap penalty takers in our teams, because these kind of things can happen. They're still decent players anyway. And yeah, they're the front men for their teams. And obviously Fulham and Brighton, 2 pretty good teams. So yeah, very, very nice there. In terms of the team, I am very surprised to see Sharda on the bench with an 8-pointer. I feel like if you have Sharda in your team and he's got a fixture home to Southampton, if you're not going to play him then why even have him at all? if he's got the best possible attacking fixture. Sorry, it was Southampton away, wasn't it? Yeah. But if he's playing Southampton, then surely you start him. And he was likely to start that game too. So yeah, that was a little surprise for me. But yeah, still, top scorer in the mini league this week. So what do I know? This guy clearly knows what he's doing with a massive 110 points there. A game week rank in the top 2k as well. So yeah, really, really nice here from you, Ronnie. And then just looking at the team of the game week leaderboard, it doesn't look too much different to how I've shown you guys before. Everyone here on the leaderboard now has got a gold medal, as we have reached 20 game weeks. So yeah, there are now at least I think there's 22 because there's been some draws. Every single team here has won one of the game weeks, been the top score in the mini league for a game week. And as you can see, the top 3 there have also either gotten multiple top 20s, top 10s, and then as you can see Marvy there still at the top with a second place as well as a first place. So yeah, still a lot to play for in the Team of the Game Week leaderboard. And that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Please leave a like and get subscribed to the channel if you have enjoyed. I believe at the time of recording this, I'm on 899 subscribers. So it'd be really, really nice to hit 900 after making this video. I hope you guys have a really good game week. Get in the comments as well. Which transfers do you think I should be making and which transfers you're thinking of making? I will try and respond to all the comments if you have any dilemmas with your own team and give my thoughts on it, whether you decide to take it or not. So I hope you've all enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next FPL video.